Journaling has been proven to be one of the best ways to deal with mental clutter and to help boost your mental health. Most of the time, our thoughts get so tangled up together that we then are not capable of thinking vividly, and this leads us to take irrational decisions that we later will regret. People like Mark Twain, Marcus Aurelius, and Anne Frank all kept journals that has impacted our view of the world. Even when you think about it, the Bible is just a compilation of journals from great apostles who received their messages from God. That's how powerful a journal can be. So now let's talk about how I started to journal. I started journaling back in 2020 when the pandemic hit all of us, and I needed a way to express my emotions and to be able to help myself. And it was also during this time that I started on my self-development journey. So I watched a lot of videos of my favorite YouTubers who are on this self-development path, and most of them talked about journaling. That's when I actually started to, do my own research about it. So I got myself a journal and I started writing all these things, and at first it was very surface level. I started writing my day and how my day went and what I did and all of that. And then after some time I started having conflictions about it. I was like, well, I'm a man, why should I journal? So I closed it up and I left it for like about two weeks to a month. And it wasn't actually that after I stopped journaling that I started noticing the effects that it had on me, the positive effects that it had on me. But still, I was fighting with the conflictions of, I'm a man, I shouldn't journal, blah, blah. However, it got to a time where I started realizing that, hey, the positive outweighs the conflictions that I'm having. So who cares? I'm just going to journal and I'm just going to write how I feel. So it's been 4 years now and I've been journaling ever since. Journaling is very easy. All you have to do is just get a piece of paper or a book or whatever you can write on and just write how your day went. Just write what you saw, what made you happy, what made you sad, what made you angry, who you met. And you see that throughout our time, you gain this confidence or this trust in your journal, because that trust doesn't come at first. There's certain people that are able to just write whatever, their traumas and everything down at first. But me personally, I couldn't trust my journal enough to write all those things in there, especially when I knew it was readily available for anybody to pick up and people can just read it. But it wasn't until after a while that I started to gain this trust, and I was like, who cares? I'm just gonna write whatever. And I realized that the more I wrote, the emptier I felt, in a good way. There's actually a lot of ways to journal, but the ones I want to talk about today are 3 types: the goal setting journal, the mental declutter journal, and the gratitude journal. When it comes to goal setting, most people fail to write their goals down because, first of all, they don't really believe in it. So the first step to actually believing in your goals is to write them down. There's been a lot of researchers that have proved that writing your goals down does something to your brain, where your brain suddenly goes into action and starts looking for ways to make your goals possible. When you write down your goals, it registers it in your mind, and you actually start to feel guilty when you're not taking actions towards it. That's why it's very, very imperative to write your goals down before you even start doing it. And that's one way journaling can help you to do it. Now, when it comes to mental declutter journal, it's basically just putting everything on paper that is stuck in your mind. Sometimes, like I talked about in the intro, when we have so many things going on in our minds, we're not able to think as clearly as we normally should. So when you put everything on paper, it helps you to be able to puzzle everything out and to actually find the cause of whatever you're going through. So let's say you're going through a rut, right? You can write it down and try to investigate why or what the causes of the rut is. Go to the roots as much as possible. And that is one way that journaling can help you. Most of the times when I find myself in a rut, I just write down how I'm feeling, and there's often an underlying issue that I'm ignoring. So when I write them down, I'm able to deal with the issue, and there goes the rut. Now, the last type of journaling that I want to talk about is one of the most important and actually the most powerful way to journal, and that is the gratitude journal. Gratitude journal basically entails that you write down everything that you are grateful for. When we actually look within and look around us, there's a lot of things that we often overlook because we're too focused on what the outside world has to bring. So when we go within and actually become aware of the things that we have and we write them down, we start to feel this sense of gratitude, and that often makes us feel better about ourselves, and we realize that we have everything that we need, and that the things that we're worried about are just things that we want, not things that we need. And not to talk about spirituality, but there's been proven that when you focus more on the things that you're grateful for, more of the things that you're grateful for comes back to you. So whatever you're grateful for, whatever you show gratitude for, the universe will give you more of that. That's why keeping a gratitude journal is so important and helps you raise your vibration. That brings me to the end of the video. I hope this gave you some insights or some inspiration to actually pick up a journal. And also, it's actually quite interesting to look back upon your younger years and to see where you were mentally. Sometimes I look through my older journals and I'm very proud of myself for where I am now, because where I used to be is not where I am anymore mentally. So again, I hope this inspires you to pick up a journal and start writing everything again. And it's been your boy Oscar. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.